You're just looking at if it's like negative
So the B, C, and D are all shifted up. Do you see that?
because it's positive.
Because it's +1. Yeah. So we know A is out. Now that's not enough because if the graph happened to open down, it would still hit the graph there. All right. So from I'm sorry. So these I'm sorry. Let me back up here. These are the ones that do not hit it. That's what I was trying to get at. These do not hit it because they're already moved up one.
Yeah.
But this one, this letter A, has been moved down one.
Yeah.
Notice we don't even really care where it is. We just know that it does it hit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but probably in your class, you probably are given an absolute value equation and you're told to solve it. You're told to
Yeah.
solve it or put a value in for X. These questions are a little bit different. Okay. And so sometimes, and we'll do it for this next question here. Sometimes you get a question that's very direct, something you might even see in your classroom. So let's look at this here. No multiple choice for this one. What is the positive solution to the given equation?
Okay, so don't you just do like you move the 4 becomes positive because it's absolute value?
So this one actually has a like a formula. So let's say I give you something inside parentheses equals a number. It becomes two equations. It becomes the thing inside parentheses equals the number.
Okay.
And then the thing inside parentheses equals the negative of that number. Okay. Now in your case, the thing inside parentheses is 2x minus 4. So it would be 2x minus 4 equals 8,
Okay.
or 2x minus 4 equals -8. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you solve both of these equations for me?
Yeah. So the first one, 2x. So the first one is x equals 8.
Try again. When you add 4 to both sides,
Oh yeah, sorry, it's 6 because
yes, x is 6. Good. And how about the next one?
2x minus 1 plus negative. You're gonna get, yeah, 2x is -1.
So when we add 4 to both sides, we get 2x equals -4. Divide by 2, so x equals -2. Okay. Now, which one did it want? Let's go back and look. What does it want here?
The positive solution.
Yeah. And that's where you got to be really careful with these standardized tests is like you may think, oh, I got it. And -2 is there and it actually wants the other one here. So let's try one more of these.
Okay.
What are you guys working on in your algebra 3-4 class right now?
We're doing I forgot the name of it.
Okay. Can you give any words though that you remember
Well,
from class?
so we're doing like um equations, but you have to like make, like, if it's like a plus b c plus b, we would have to like single out b
Okay,
out
so
of.
solving literal equations
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that one I always forget what it's called too because it's weird. Why are they literal?
yeah,
They
yeah,
just
yeah,
are.
literal, that's what
I,
it's called.
I don't know.
And like we're talking about like interest and stuff, and
Okay.
yeah, that equation.
Yeah, so that's good. So you're doing maybe it's like some p times principal times rate times time
Yeah,
or perk.
that, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Cool. Okay, well, let's do one more of these absolute value equation problems. So in the previous problem, I'm going to scroll back up to the previous problem. Do you see how the absolute value already equaled a number?
Yeah.
That's what we want here. We don't want this +4.
Okay.
Okay, we want the absolute value to equal. So what are we going to do this for? How do you undo it?
You just put it to the other side, so it's just gonna be 2.
You subtract 4 from both sides,
Yeah.
not divide. Yeah,
Sorry, I keep thinking multiplication. It's
that's okay. It's okay. All right, so you set the absolute value 2x plus 6. Now, just like before, there's two equations. Now, the first one, you just write exactly what you see without the absolute value.
Okay.
Exactly what you see.
Yeah.
That one's usually can remember that. The other one, you said it. Go ahead. Sorry for interrupting. What were you going to say?
The other one's negative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And if you don't mind, will you solve both of these for me?
Yeah. And then to negative to x equals. The first one's -1, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then
Agreed.
the other one down. Okay. And then it's gonna be x equals -5.
Yes. Okay. Now this one, let's go back and look at what it asks for. What is the sum of the solutions? What math operation is sum referred to? Do you know? Adding them up. So if I said you got to add these up, what would you tell me is the final answer?
-6.
-6. Perfect. Okay. So these are like, think about, sometimes textbooks do this, but these are like, I'll call level 1 or like 1 dot absolute value equation problems. And you will get either a 1 dot or a level 2 absolute value equation on this exam when you're taking it. So we don't know, but you're going to get something on absolute value in this test. Okay. All right, so let's switch topics. Let's go to your favorite literal equations.
Okay.
So I'm going to snip the whole question in. Okay. And I'll read it out loud. The formula D equals RT is used to calculate the distance an object travels over a period of time T at a constant rate R. Based on this information, what is the rate R in terms of D and T? And I'd like you to focus on this last sentence again, question. Based on this formula, what is the rate R in terms of D and T? Can you tell me what that means in your own words?
So it's looking for, so since the formula is normally D equals RT, it's trying to single out R, so you divide T and D.
So you actually solve for R. Yeah, I think you were on the right track.
Yeah.
You want to get R by itself.
Yeah.
So you are right. You do divide. What do you divide by though? Not
You
both.
divide by D.
By T. Yes.
Yeah.
So which is the correct answer? A, B, C, or D?
A.
A. Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's look at another one here. Okay. Now I'm gonna snip this in. This will be our first test taking strategy that we're going to talk about. So when you read this, can you tell me what it's asking for in your own words, please?
So is it trying to single out P?
Exactly. Now, what I'm going to do here, this is not the question though. Here is the actual question, so you can see at it. What's the difference between what I snipped in and what you just did?
Can you move them next to each other?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so P is longest completion, M is most likely. Which of the following correctly use P? Hold on. So what are you asking?
Well, I'm trying to draw your attention to all these other words up here. Do they matter?
I mean, not really.
No, sorry, there's a small lag here. They do not matter. So one of the first test taking strategies that you'll learn and want to use is sometimes you just want to read the question or the last sentence first, because all this other stuff is irrelevant and it's distracting. And if you need to, you can even just cross, through the stuff that you don't need.
Yeah.
That way you don't look at it again. The question is literally asking, because it's a literal equation, to solve for P. Okay. And you can do that here. We're gonna look at that next. So let me have you actually let me have you talk me through what you would do to solve this for P. What's the first thing that you would do?
Sorry, let me just write it down real quick.
Sure.
Okay. First, what I would do is E equal single out P. Would you divide it by like 6?
Well, it's already being divided by 6. So how do you undo division by 6?
Oh, could you do like p equal, like bring p to the other side?
You have to clear the denominator first. So you want to multiply both sides by.
That's what I was gonna say. I was trying to
Okay.
divide.
Now maybe you're going to write that. I know that's not an oral exam, so you don't have to figure that part out. But just if in this case we want to multiply, so we have 6e equals O plus 4m plus p.
Okay.
Okay. What would you do next to solve for p?
You could do, so you would do p equals and then bring the 6e to that side, so it'd be negative.
But we okay. So okay, you can actually switch. So you can even switch the order. You can get it so that p is on the left. Like you can
But
just
like
literally.
single out p, so it'd be p equals and then put them all the rest to the.
Yeah, and so that's the words I'm asking for. Like subtract 4m from both sides of the equation. Subtract O from both
Yeah.
sides of the equation. That's what I was looking for, and I think that's what you meant. Just
Yeah.
we weren't using the
I
same
didn't
words.
word it right.
Yeah. Now if you had written this, that's
Mhm.
great. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's what I got.
Perfect. Okay, now this is another part of the test, which I kind of showed you earlier by throwing the whole thing in. You have to be able to get the right answer, and you have to be able to select the right answer. So let's, if this is the right answer, which letter does that? Did you say letter A?
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, you ready to do a problem on your own?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Take as much time as you need, but I'll give you at least a minute or two to solve this.
Okay. Okay. I think I have it. I don't know
So this is the same question as the others. I mean, it's different math operations. Which variable are you solving for?
though. H.
H. Okay. So any idea where to start on this?
So what I did is I tried to cancel the denominator.
What about this symbol here? What is
Oh, the
this
square
thing?
root.
How do you undo a square root? Let's start with that.
Um, I forgot how to do these.
So you square to undo a square root.
Okay, so y squared.
Y squared equals, and all it does is get rid of the square root.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now the next thing I would do, I like to get things out of the fraction, just like we did in the previous problem.
So don't you bring x, like don't you try to cancel the x out?
You would multiply both sides by x,
Yeah.
and then it cancels. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so then you're just xy squared with h.
Yes. Now we're almost there.
Now you
What's
have to
the?
cancel h out.
But that's what we want to solve for.
Yeah, so you're trying to bring out the h to one side so you can have it.
But if you cancel the h, it'll be on the left. You want to get rid of the g.
Okay, so then put g over the denominator of xy squared.
Is this what you meant?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I'm hearing that you're doing the right things. The words are a little different, but that's okay.
Yeah.
What answer would you select? A, B, C,
D.
D? Good. Okay. All right. Let's look at one more here.
Okay.
All right. So again, I'd like you to try solving this one on your own.
Okay.
Give you a couple minutes and I'll check back with you.
Okay. I kind of know what I'm doing, but like I don't.
Okay. Do you have an answer for me, or do you?
Not really.
Okay. Would more time help, or do you feel like you're just stuck?
I feel like I'm stuck because I normally do numbers, not really like.
So the difference between this problem and the previous ones is there's no equations given, and you have to write the equation. Okay. So is the vertical the length, or is it the width?
It's the length.
Okay. So that's the width,
Yeah.
length and width. So if I were to ask you to write the equation for the perimeter, what would you tell me based on this drawing here?
The length times width.
That's area. Area is length times width. Perimeter is a walk around the
Okay,
outside.
so it's like the width plus the
Yeah, so it's the length plus the width plus the length plus the width. 2L plus 2W.
equals P. Okay.
Okay. Now could you try solving it for
Yeah, let me write this down.
okay.
Okay. I feel like it's C.
Okay. How confident are you in your answer?
Middle confident.
Middle confident. Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look here. So you're solving for L, okay, which means that I'm going to first subtract 2W from both sides. So that gets you to P minus 2W equals 2L.
Okay.
Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2.
Okay.
And yes, that is the correct answer.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
All right. Now, have you taken a geometry class?
Oh yeah, I did last year.
Okay. And I ask because every school is different. Every, sequencing is different. Let's look at a triangle problem or two. Let's see here. All right. Okay, so let me just scale this a little better. Okay, in the right triangle above, X is 60 degrees. What is X referring to in this picture up here?
The degree.
The angle, yeah, the angle up there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to redraw it. Does take time though. That's still 4. What is the length of side AB? Is AB another leg or is it a hypotenuse?
AB is your hypotenuse because it's the longest side.
Yes. Okay, so we can call it C maybe if we want. Now, any idea how to solve this as is?
Okay, so what is the length of AB? Yeah, so you have to use like cosine or tan, right?
So yeah, that sounds like a reasonable thing to do. Like you might be like, hey, it's cosine of 60
Yeah.
equals 4 over C. Problem is you don't have a calculator in this part,
Oh.
which means there is another way to do it. Here's your hint. Do you remember the phrase or special triangle?
Oh, kind of, yeah.
So there are 2 types of special triangles. One of them is what's called a 30, 60,
30,
90.
60, 90, and then the other one is 40 and 40 or something?
45 and
45,
45.
45.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So the way this one works is whatever the short leg is, the hypotenuse is double the
Yeah.
long leg.
They would give us the equations for, and then it was like something of like the square root of 2 or
Yeah, it's x squared. Now they give you the equations, but they're usually on the first page, and by the time you get to this problem, you've forgotten that they're there, or you don't even want to go back. So,
Okay.
but knowing the formula, knowing the only way to do this problem is to know the formula. And I know that's not exciting, and it's not like but that is the absolute only way to do this type of problem. So in this case, the hypotenuse is double the short leg. The short leg is across from the 30. In your problem, the 4 is across from the 30. So what is the value of
The hypotenuse.
hypotenuse? Yeah.
So isn't it gonna be 2 times the 4,
Yes,
so 8.
that's it.
Okay.
Easy enough.
Okay. You just have
If
to memorize the equation.
yes, and the more the more you do, the better you will be. So that you get a few special triangles, but what you seem to get more of, and I don't know why this is the case, is similar triangles.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll look at one of those next, and we'll take a look at this. So in the figure above, BD is parallel to AE. I mean, that's important for this problem, but you shouldn't assume things, but sometimes you just got to go with it to make an answer.
Yeah.
Now they want the length of C to E. So they actually want the hypotenuse, which is, frustrating.
Okay.
Sometimes it helps. And this is like, if we were doing a geometry lesson, I would tell you, yeah, just redraw the triangles. That way you've got some information separated from them. So how do you go from 6 to 18? What is the value of K, or the constant, the multiplier?
You just subtract 12.
It's always a multiplication.
So
That,
you
like,
multiply 6 and 18?
no, what number do you multiply 6 by to get 18?
Oh, 3.
3. And so your scale factors are always multiplications, not, you're never adding or subtracting.
Oh,
So
okay.
that 8, what do you do for that to get the whole length of the triangle? Same thing,
Multiply.
by the K value.
So 8 times 3, which is your 24.
Yes. So this whole length here is 24. And that's what I'm showing here in the big triangle. Now CE is the hypotenuse of the large triangle. You see that, C to E?
Yeah.
So what's the big one for triangles? What's the first one they throw at you? Do you remember?
The 1/2 base. Oh, areas. Oh, Pythagorean theorem. Yeah.
Pythagorean theorem. So that's what this is. Now you don't get a calculator for this one. You might think, well, how can I not have a calculator for this one? This is another known triangle. It's Pythagorean triple. If you were to square it, you could do it that way. But since do you have a calculator handy?
Yeah, I have one with me right now.
Okay, just for time savings here, can you do 24 squared plus 18 squared for me?
Yeah. 900.
Okay, and then the square root of that?
Square root of 900 is 30.
30. And so that's when you get a really nice answer, like, oh, maybe I should have known that ahead of time. And that's because it is a Pythagorean triple, which means it's nice, like it's a friendly
Yeah.
set of numbers here.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can find one more like this. And does not look like I have one really quick. Okay, we'll do a quick circle problem, and
Okay.
so. All right. All right. So the circle above with center O has a circumference of 36. And actually, I think there's an error in this problem. I think it's supposed to be 36 pi. They print corrections to the tests over the years.
Okay.
Do you remember the formula for area or circumference of a circle?
Pi r squared.
Pi r squared is the area. How about circumference?
It was like pi r squared times height or something.
2
No.
pi r. 2 pi
Yeah,
r.
yeah.
And this is, again, another one they give you, but again, it's back on page 1. You may not have that. So we want the second one here. Okay.
Okay.
So they're telling you that the circumference is 36 pi.
Yeah.
Could you solve this for r for me?
Yeah. Is it 34? 34r? Oh yeah, okay, so it's 18. I think you're on mute.
I'm so sorry. I was muted there for,
You're okay.
I was like, why isn't she answering? Okay. Let's try again here, Matthew. All right, here we go. All right, so if you go all the way around the circle, that's 36, okay?
Yeah.
But what is this square? What does this represent? How many degrees?
Which one are we looking at?
The square right here.
Oh, that's 90.
That's 90. And in a circle, there's 360 degrees if you go all the way around.
Yeah.
So what percentage of the circle is 90? Or what fraction? What is 90 out of 360 is kind of what I'm asking.
It's 270.
It's 1/4. 1/4.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what I'm trying to get you to see is that the answer to this question, which is important, is that this arc A to C is 1/4 of the 36.
Okay.
And what would be 1/4 of the 36?
What 1/4 times 36?
Yes. What would that be?
Is it a what's it called? Decimal?
Nope. It does work out. It works. It's actually just 9. It's actually just 9.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna actually stop here. Not because you did anything wrong, but because sorry. Let me. Is your mom available to talk to? The lessons are usually 50 minutes, but we're just doing a try it out thing tonight to see if you like it. And
Yeah. My dad's getting her.
your dad's here. Oh, cool.
Oh, well, we're getting my mom. So
Cool.